souls, young souls, and all my damn souls in between. Welcome back to another week of Old Soul in the Young World with your host, Jesse Ellie. Hey! All right, that's how fire it is in here today, guys. We have an amazing guest on the show, somebody who's into nutrition, somebody who's a chef, a teacher, and has been on season 4 of Masterchef. Oh shit, y'all aren't ready. Welcome to the show, Malcolm Green. What's poppin'?
What's going on? What's going on?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me up here. I've seen the show. I'm a fan of the show, definitely. So I definitely had to come through and bless the spot.
Hey, and we're a fan of you. We seen you chefing it up, doing your own thing, open your own businesses around here in the area.
Yep.
In Stoughton.
Mm-hmm.
Stoughton, did I say it right?
Mass. Yeah, absolutely. You got it right on.
Hey, so, let the people know who exactly you are. I know I gave them a feel, but like you dabble in so many businesses between the nutrition, the cooking, and the community outreach and helping people and the book drives and everything that you're doing right now.
Yep.
What would you categorize yourself like in today's day and time?
I mean, I guess if I had to put a category on it or like a label on it, I'm just an entrepreneur of where I've come from. You know what I mean? So
That's fire.
I definitely want to be able to provide for people like myself, like growing up like myself, everything like that. So why not put myself in those spaces where I can do that? And I always said to myself, I just need a little bit of opportunity to do so. So that's what I'm doing.
Hey, that's dope. And so you grew up in Boston. You're from the city.
Yeah, I'm originally from Cambridge, born and raised.
Okay.
That's where I met like my extended family always. So,
right.
Your fake aunts, your fake uncles, the people that helped you throughout the community, make sure
all
you
your
stay in
cousins,
trouble.
all 500
all my
of them,
all of them or whatever. And how I grew up was like that was that constant community, that was that constant outreach, like making sure that I was where I was supposed to be, even though I was a kid getting in a little trouble,
Yeah. Weren't we all?
Yeah, right. Who wasn't?
That's
right?
how you learn, though.
Right.
Exactly.
Making the trouble, causing the trouble, getting the beatings, and then making sure you don't get in trouble no more. You know what I mean? So
facts.
That's where I'm from. And then for me, like I always wanted to be in a position to help because I always got help.
Yeah.
I worked in the Cambridge youth programs for several years and I loved it. Mm-hmm. I love to help. I've been cooking since I was 9.
What?
Feeding people, things like that. I burnt many of plates before, so don't get it twisted. I definitely burned some dishes.
He's like, I haven't been a Masterchef since 9. Hold up. It takes time.
But self-taught, my mom worked 3 jobs just to make sure me and my sister ate. So,
yeah.
I always realized
Shout out to your moms.
Yeah,
for real.
definitely. Like
all the moms.
I always felt like food was love, and that was the way like I was connecting with everyone. And as I got older and really fell in love with food, I was able to see that that's a great way to connect with other cultures, even if you don't understand them as much as you should.
Amen to that. It's crazy. You just took the words out of my mouth. Like what I was thinking is food literally is the key language between all of us.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like
I definitely
states,
agree.
like cultures, nations, like that is what we can actually come and agree on. Like, we can't talk, but I can make you this delicious food and you can eat it and I can see you smile.
And you can kind of communicate through that. You can understand where the region was, where the town was, why they do this, why they do that.
In the history of it,
In the history, yep, absolutely.
Speaking of that, like when I was, looking you up and whatever, like I saw that your roots, your lineage, your mother comes from Jamaica.
Yes.
And that was like kind of a big influence on your like cooking and what you chose to start out making.
Yeah, absolutely. So when my mom was an immigrant,
Mm-hmm.
She got her citizenship when I graduated 8th grade. So it was like a combination thing. So, she was born and raised there and it's all about family in Jamaica. Like we cook really big meals and everybody comes over and so on and so forth. So when I was learning how to cook, running behind my grandmother, she was cooking, baked chicken, curry goat, mac and cheese, green. Like she was cooking everything.
The soul food.
Everything. And that's and that was like right after church too.
Right.
She put it, rice, beans, everything that you can think of. So I was able to see her feed like like hundreds of people like every Sunday.
Yeah.
And, you know, she didn't think I was paying attention, but I sure was, you know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
And that's kind of just got me there where now I'm able to feed hundreds of people as well too.
Hey, shout out to you.
Yeah, trying, man. That's all I could do, you know, put myself out there and trying to provide that positive outlook on food.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, yo, you could be a cool ass chef. Like, you know, you don't have to be, you know, stuck up and you don't have to wear the coat and all this other stuff. You could be cool, you could be down to earth and just bring your soul and your power into your food.
Exactly. And I think too, like having that perspective and that mindset, it's like you already are educating people of how much it means to like put time and effort into sitting down and making a meal with your family, having that connection instead of like we were chopping it up before the show, like going out to eat or spending a bunch of money on a meal, when you could actually be taking this as a lesson to connect and to move forward with other cultures or diverse yourself into like different flavors.
Absolutely. I always said like racism would end if everybody just sat down and had some grub.
Ooh,
like I always said
that's
that.
Gonna be quoted by you one day. Like
when I had the book, you know what I'm saying? You definitely gotta when I get a chance to really sit down and write a book or anything like that, I'm trying to come to processes. Like I just don't want to be like a normal cookbook. I want it to be like a real book with cooking aspects in it. So I'm working on that, jotting down notes every day, and I always come back like, yo, you could kill a lot of a hate with just like food, you know.
Facts. Yeah.
And just being adventurous.
Yeah, 100%. And like also within the cooking realm, it plays into like your wellness. Like what are you putting into your body?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? What is fueling like how I look at us, because like Old Soul Young World, I feel like my body's a temple.
Yes.
And it's a vessel and it's just holding a soul. But like this is just a physical body. You know what I'm saying? But how do I keep it healthy? How do I keep my, you know, up to standard so that it can live a long life so that my soul can enjoy life?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like cooking really, you know, gives you the chance to learn about the importance of what we in America think maybe is healthy food, when in reality, a lot of the food that we're used to learning about or cooking is processed food.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and like the difference between those things.
A lot of times when you're cooking your own food, you don't put half the stuff that is bad for you in your own food because you're cooking it now, right? So you're seeing
people don't even know that shit though.
Yeah, they're like,
the sodium.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So now you're just chopping up some vegetables. You're chopping up some protein. You might got a rice cooker going at the same time. You might got this. You might got that. And you just got to think of yourself as, okay, now you bought a brand new 2002 Lamborghini, right? Awesome, perfect color. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Red Lambo.
As you can tell.
Right, red's my favorite color too, so I love red, yeah. So you got a red Lamborghini, black rims, it's slow, it's nice, it's clean.
Oh, that sounds gorgeous. Right? Lambos are my favorite. You're just whipping out all my favorite words now.
Right, here you go, right? Now, what kind of gas are you putting in that car?
Some high premium.
You're not even gonna go on the cheap
killing the
stuff.
environment.
You don't even care. Like you're not gonna put that cheap stuff in the car.
Right.
You're gonna wash your car, you're gonna take your time, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And that's the way I would tell anyone to treat their body, right? So put the premium gas in the car. You know, take care of your hair, take care of your skin, take care of everything that, you know, is on the outside of the car too, you know?
Exactly.
And you'll see that, you know, it will be beneficial for you. Your knees won't hurt. You'll have more energy. You'll have more stamina.
Facts.
You'll be able to accomplish more. Your brain won't be as cloudy. There's plenty of things. Now, we also understand that we're going to have our weak moments and we're going to cheat on certain things.
Yeah.
But if we do put, 90% of positive things in our body and that 10% for our little cheats, we'll be perfectly fine.
Exactly. It can balance out.
Absolutely.
It's just, if you flip that around, your body is not going to process that very well.
You can't put the 90% bad stuff and then the 10% and thinking it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
right.
I can't lose no weight. But was it the Cheetos? Was it the Doritos? Was it the...
And it's not just about how you look. Like, I want to make sure people listening in are understanding when we talk about that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how you look on the outside. It's about what you're putting in your body on the inside, and then how it makes you feel and how it makes you live and what you can do. Like, you don't want to, be limited just because you're choosing to eat crappy food all the time.
Absolutely. It's like health is not, skinny is not healthy. Like everybody thinking that they're putting the spin on that. You know what I mean? It's about what you're putting in your body and what you're doing to maximize your 24 hours a day, right? Because everybody still has the same 24 hours a day.
Right.
And if you start your day off bad, it might end bad. But if you start your day off good, a little lighter, you'll be okay. Whatever shape, size you are. Like, it's about health, not about the size.
Right. And just, personal testimony, and I know you said that you had went down this realm for a little bit as well, but me, myself personally, and people listening may have not known this, but I'm a vegetarian, and I've been a vegetarian for it's actually been over a decade, probably 11 years now. I started,
awesome.
I started really young. It was for multiple reasons. Like, I just started to not feel okay when I was eating meat.
Okay.
So I started researching more into it, and then I learned about factory farming and processing and how the meat was actually made and hormones that were put in, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of things that young people don't really look up. But there was something internally in my body that was like, this doesn't settle with you, which is fine. Everyone's different. But when I tell people and they look at me, they're like, what? You're like, you got big thigh. You're thick. Like, you're not a vegetarian. It's like, it's not about how you look. It's about what I wanted inside of my body, what was making me feel okay and what wasn't.
Absolutely.
It's not a choice about wanting to look a certain way. It was about what I could process. You know what I'm saying?
It's about putting a good gas into your car. And
like
in your
you said,
car, that's what you needed.
You did vegan for a little bit.
Yeah, I did vegan for like 4 months. My whole reason for doing vegan was I had a vegan client.
Oh, okay,
so I had a vegan client, and I was like, I have no idea what to cook, so I got to put myself in their shoes.
It is not easy
to
be vegan.
Easy. I've never done it. There's a lot of things that you don't pay attention to when you're doing that. So I started paying more attention to, certain products that I would buy for other clients that are, doing like a healthier diet.
Yeah.
But the veganism is just a completely different thing. So we did, how do I get more protein into their diet? So what do I do for this? What do I do for that?
Yeah.
And I had to become vegan to give them the best product that I possibly can. So we did a lot of chickpeas, a lot of portobello mushrooms.
Yep.
I roasted a lot of vegetables. And now that I'm not vegan, I still watch what I eat. I still take some of those dishes, maybe be vegan for the night or something. Have that vegan, then, because they were really tasty and good.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's a personal.
It is.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
It's a personal struggle too. Like,
it is.
There's not anybody in the world that doesn't struggle with their diet or their lifestyle changes when it comes down to eating and good food, because the good food looks great on, mac and cheese looks great on TV.
Yo, give me a tray of homemade cookies. I'll eat all of them.
Exactly.
I'm not even lying. It's actually embarrassing, but like, I mean that shit. Like, those certain
chewy
things, I'm like, yo, that's just what I want.
Right. No, and I get it. So it's a struggle, but it's one that you can have fun with because you can always find new alternatives to what you're trying to do.
And that's an amazing thing that, what you do with your cooking classes and your businesses, your cake business, and then you have a food delivery business.
I got everything going. Yeah.
Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So I own 2 nutritional clubs. I have Optimal Nutrition and I have MnM Nutrition. And
like
those
MnM?
Like MnM, yeah.
Okay.
And they provide healthy shakes, teas. I do funky gluten-free snacks in there.
Oh, cool.
At my, we're doing protein waffles now, protein bowls, oatmeal.
Do you do like acai bowls?
Yeah, so we have been experimenting with acai bowls. A lot of different things that you can come down and sit down and eat and enjoy, because I want you to be able to enjoy it.
Right.
And sometimes when I'm in the lab and I'm trying to figure out, this and blending this and blending that, it doesn't come out good.
Facts.
So obviously everything on the menu is tasty because literally we're trying different stuff. We're trying different mixes. We're putting things together to make it tasty and healthy at the same time.
That's amazing. And where, I'm sorry, in case like people are curious, where are these businesses?
Optimal Nutrition is in Stoughton at 724 Washington Street in Stoughton, Mass. Yep, drop that. And then I have MnM Nutrition inside of Workout World in Cobb's Corner. They consider that like Canton, Stoughton, Sharon
like on
area.
the line. Okay.
Yes, it's like right on the line. So like if I take 50 steps up the street from the shop, I'm in Sharon.
Yeah.
If I take
And it's in a gym, you said?
It's inside of a gym.
Nice.
So that's the newest addition to all the things that I have going on. It's a struggle. It's very slow right now, but hopefully people can come in and ask as many questions as they like, come in and sit down and enjoy. I got tables, I got TVs, I got little feng shui space.
Hey, we love
you
that.
You can hang out. Gentleman came in actually this morning. He came in, got a waffle while the waffle's preparing. He's like laid down watching TV and everything. And I like that.
That's dope.
I like just enjoy yourself or whatever. I got, I teach in Stoughton.
Okay.
I teach in-person classes. It's like we actually extended the class to 8 people a class now because we still want to be COVID friendly to everyone and this and the third. Those are in-person classes. Okay. You can find those on the Stoughton Recreational Center's website.
Dope.
And if you follow me on like all, my handles and stuff like that, I always post those. Those are fun. And then I do online classes as well.
So many options for people.
There's a lot of options.
You have no excuses, guys. Go check it out.
I've been trying to reach everyone. You know? And I know it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Facts.
And
can you repeat that again?
No, it is. It really is a marathon. Like you gotta slow jog. It's a slow grind. It's the labor of love. That's what you have to do. So
facts.
I always put myself in all spaces. I might have someone that can't come to Stoughton. So boom, here's your online class. I might have someone that, may get out later. Okay, I have a class later on that afternoon.
Being inclusive to everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had to quit my job to provide all these services to people.
Wow.
But it's very rewarding in itself as far as like now I'll put in 80, 100, 120 hours a week for myself, That's what you got to do.
The things that nobody sees behind the scene, It's crazy when you're an entrepreneur, the stuff that you have to put in yourself.
Absolutely.
And nobody's there backing you up. The time, the effort, the energy.
You have to put in the time. It's and that's with whatever you do, whatever facet of whatever. You want to be a professional basketball player, you're not paying attention to the 300 shots that they're taking after the game that they just played.
Or waking up at 4 a.m. to go take those shots.
And this, that, and the third. So, people want to be great and they want that instant success, but it takes a long time. It's a slow grind. It's a slow process. I've been, in this food realm, in the food world since I was 9 years old. Really, 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 really grinding it out since I was about 20 years old.
Yep.
Now I'm 36.
Yep.
16 years in the game.
More than half your life.
Yeah, just been trying to do it, and hopefully for my next 36 years, like I can be in a position where I have something where I can start employing some people, giving people the opportunities that weren't given to me, but now I want to provide those opportunities to them. Just all of it,
Yes. I appreciate that so much. And, another huge feat and accomplishment within the realm of, I feel like, your cooking, which is something I was super excited to talk to you about, is you were a contestant on season 4 of Masterchef.
Yep.
Fucking shout out to you. I don't even know. I'm trying to control my, excitedness, but that's crazy.
The whole thing was a whirlwind. So, when I tell you, if I'm, telling you this and that and everything like that, and you're trying to grasp it all, it's still hard for me to grasp, This was years ago.
I watched this dude on TV. Y'all can go YouTube Malcolm Green,
YouTube.
Masterchef.
There might be some stuff on Hulu too. Shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He's on TV. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm Google worthy. All for the right reason.
Facts.
But Masterchef was an opportunity where it was still one of those things where, I still can't believe it. You know,
How do you mind me asking how old you were? Because I that was probably 2013-ish or 12.
2013. Yeah, I think it was 12 or 13. Because I remember being cold in Boston, but obviously warm in California. They filmed in California.
So you're mid-20s.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Quit my job to do it without no hesitation. I asked if I can get the time off, and a lot of those
they don't want you to win.
Yeah, a lot of those shows they don't know how much time you have off.
True.
They give you they give you a timeline, and they say, is it okay that you get from such and such date to such and such date off? But when you present that to them without being able to, kill your NDA, and you sign an NDA, there's a lot of stuff that you can't say because a lot of information gets leaked. It's reality still, things like that. It's hard to go to a job with that. Yeah. So
and because you're pre-recording, so you don't want to put anything out and ruin the show.
And that's their pitch. They're like, listen, we don't want to leak information.
Facts.
And this and someone might be salty or something. They leak that, so you got to sign all these contracts, which is fine. So there's only even so much I can say, whatever. But everything I'm telling you is completely legal and honest and everything like that. So, they it was funny. So I got a call from my man Dante. Now me and Dante are cool, but we're not cool like we call each other every day and so on and so forth. So I know Dante through passing. He's a really cool guy, really good guy. Shout out to Dante. He's doing a lot with the city of Boston as well.
Shout out Dante.
And he just gave me a random text like, yo, they're
like cast calling.
They're doing cast calling at Le Cordon Bleu in Cambridge.
Oh shit, that's so close.
Right. And I was like, I was literally like sitting at the crib like.
And this is before your businesses. I just want to make sure the timeline's right.
Yeah, before everything. Okay. Like no optimal nutrition, no MnM Nutrition,
just
no
like
Malia's catering, just self-taught, just me, whipping up pots and pans, just cooking for my boys. Like we all just chilling.
Facts.
So I'm looking at the text and I'm just like, it was free. It can't hurt.
Right. Like why not?
Walk over to the grocery store, got about $12 in my pocket. Mm-hmm. Okay, what am I getting with $12? So walked to the bakery aisle. They had I got a corn muffin. Mm-hmm. Walked over to the produce aisle, and they always have a section at the end of the night where they're gonna throw away their produce, and like it has to be sold that day. So I was getting like vine tomatoes for like 59 cents.
I was gonna say
grabbing this and that, and then I spent I spent the most money on a thing of pasta for 99 cents and some chicken breasts.
Okay.
Not a family style, but like small. So I spent like 11 something.
Right.
I go home. I'm like, this is nothing. I've been poor all my life. Like I know how to make this work. So I season my chicken breast, this, that, and that. I make a stuffing out of the corn muffin, chop everything up, get it to go, make like a little ragu with the rest of the tomatoes, do it on top of the pasta. I don't have a plate. I just got a small Tupperware.
Oh my gosh,
I'm so chilling, and I'm just like,
baby Malcolm.
So many people there. I'm just like, talking to a guy next to me, and he's like, I made like a beef Wellington, and I did this, and I did that, and blah blah. And here I am, just a self-taught chef, but I'm also, I'm a poor kid from Cambridge, so there's a lot of things that I wasn't even exposed to. A lot of meats, a lot of things that I wasn't able to have.
Of course. And cooking techniques based on your culture. Like you had certain techniques from your family that you had learned opposed to somebody who was raised in a French family or et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
We're used to we have like 1 or 2 knives. Yeah. That's it. There's people that got plethora of knives and stuff. So I'm just sitting there. But being
resourceful is what it all comes down to.
Exactly.
Knowing how to use it.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the guy and he's a great guy, cool guy.
Yeah.
And I wish I knew who he was. Like I really do, because I didn't have a plate and he had an extra plate and he gave it to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you're going to make it, like you're going to make it. Like me holding back this extra plate is not going to
make a difference.
Anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he never made it onto the show. He never made it to second rounds of interviews or anything like that. So whoever you are, shout out to you, bro.
Show you out, guy.
And I always tell that story because I'm hoping he's listening somewhere.
Yes, I hope this gets to him.
He was a really cool guy. Like, and those are the people that you want to meet, like in this realm, because it is kind of cutthroat. And I got the plate, so I didn't know what I was doing. Like I just put the pasta on the bottom, put the chicken there, and boom, and just stayed there. And
wait, so you cooked before you go? You bring the food with you, and then you plate it for them?
And then they give you like
you
about
bring in a container or something?
Yeah, they give you 5 minutes to plate.
What?
So it's like maybe like 9.
So you don't cook in a kitchen there?
This is
crazy.
Yeah, this is just to see what you got.
Yeah. Right.
So there's like 9 of us there, and they're like, okay, now you have 10 minutes to not 10 minutes. They gave us 5 minutes just to put everything on the plate. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, and this is like I don't even know how to plate yet.
Right.
So I'm like, I want to make it look inviting, like, so boom. So I put the pasta down on the thing, put the chicken on there. I had some greenery.
Yeah. Some like parsley or something.
I was like, threw it on there, whatever. And it looked really nice.
Get some green on the plate.
Yeah, it looked really nice. And I always hear that. And
yeah.
so it looked really nice. It came out really nice. Sandy Birdsong, she's one of probably back then she was definitely like top 100 chefs in America.
Wow.
She was doing helping the culinary team with a lot of stuff like that. So
okay.
I see her around tasting food, and I know who she is because I was a fan of hers. I was like, oh snap! I just want that, but like, yo, what's up? She's tasting people's food. She's nibbling. She's talking. She's taking notes. Whatever. She swings around. This is a true story. She swings around to my plate. Whatever. She's, nibbling, talking. Hey, how are you? Good. Whatever. And she puts down she's like, hey, Then she goes,
stop it.
And she starts to eat the food.
Oh my God.
Just talking to me like, she's like, so where are you from? Like, you don't have any classical training, blah, blah. I'm like,
she's all confused. She's like, what? Who made
I just whipped this up last night. I had $12 in my pocket, please. I'm being honest. Like, she's like, no way. Like, and she's like eating it.
Yeah.
Like, when I looked down, I didn't have no more food.
What
like,
kind
I had
of chicken
a full portion.
was this?
It was just a stuffed chicken. I probably got some pictures. So
I'm like so impressed right now.
It was super weird. Like,
yeah.
And I was honored too. Like, it wasn't like one of those like, oh yeah, I got. Nah, it was. So the whole that was my whole like me being in a shock state of mind during the whole process of this that's what it was. Like, I was so shocked the whole time. So boom, they called me for the second interviews. I got dressed, went to the second interviews. Then I get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you're coming to California. Doesn't mean you're going to be on the show. Oh. So each step, like, I was like, fire. Oh, snap. Like, oh, okay. So when I got to California, I was like, oh, little week vacation in California. I get booted off and go home. Yeah. That week turned into like 3 months. I was there fighting for survival to stay on the show, and the rest is history. Like, the whole hood loved me. I got some hood love.
That's amazing. Yo, that's crazy.
And that was and then that was it. So like, even now, like when I tell you, like I was always in a shock state of mind. Like there was an episode where I was highlighted to get my final apron to get into the top 20.
Right.
I didn't even celebrate. And it wasn't because I was like, oh, I knew I had it. I didn't celebrate because I was in a shock state of mind. I was like, oh my. Like,
you're like, did I really just get that?
Okay, bet. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
I think that's the video I saw. Like, they called you and you just see him. He just walks over and he has his hands like this and he's just walking past the judges with his hands on his face. What just happened?
The whole time I was on a show, that's how I felt. Like, a lot of times people were like, you wasn't really yourself and this, that. I was just like, you don't understand. Like, you're cooking for the people that you look up to for a long time. You don't have no training, no nothing. Poor kid from Cambridge just trying to make your way. You just had, your daughters, my daughter was 3 or 4 at the time. You're missing her. There's tons of emotions going on. And you're literally just trying to make the best way. Like, you're just trying to put one foot in front of the other.
Facts. And you know what it is? Like, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead. Like, when I hear you talk, it's like you just believed in something you couldn't see. You believed in something that wasn't promised to you. Right. Something that no certificate from school or no whatever told you were good enough, that you were like a professional chef, that you know what I'm saying? It was
completely authentic.
Fate, I feel like.
Completely organic. Like, like I've had naysayers like my whole life, like whether it become, basketball, football, even when it comes to culinary. I've had people tell me that I'm not good enough. Right. Like, and I always, and if anybody says, oh, I don't really care what anybody thinks, they're lying.
Facts.
They're lying. Like, now you may not let it affect you as much as you would like to.
Or you might use it for like motivation, but exactly. It still means something.
You still care. It still bothered you enough for you to make your next step maybe your best step, right? Or your next step, your worst step. It's still lingered in you. Yes. And for me, like I always like use that as like a little bit of motivation. Like when anybody said I couldn't do something, or I don't have this, or they don't believe in me like I believe in myself, or they speak from experience. Like, you probably said something about this show, about this thing, about this something that you have. You may not had the direction that you wanted to, but you said it to someone and they weren't as amped as you felt, and it bothered you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, because you knew they were supposed to be just like you.
Yes.
You was like, wait a minute, you're not lit with me. Like, you're not feeling me. Like, we're not bouncing at the same frequency. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So. But you let that motivate you to this wonderful, organic, authentic stream, and now you're interviewing me, and I'm interviewing you a little bit,
Facts.
So it's like one of those things where like
people told me my whole life I was different, or like didn't understand. Like, I didn't have those people behind me like, oh, you got this, you got. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what's Jessie gonna do with herself? She's a weirdo.
Where's she going with
where's her path? Like, I was never the girl that's like, oh, I'm going to college for this. I started community college 2 days before the signups ended.
Right.
Like, I wasn't even planning to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And that meant nothing because my college degree didn't do shit for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did shit for me.
I didn't go to culinary school.
Exactly.
That's
the testimony.
My whole thing is like, wait a minute, like, you pay for a college degree and half the time you're not even in the field that you actually graduated in, you know, unless you have that pure straight structure. But like, life is supposed to be about being authentic to yourself. And a lot of times we're guided to other people's dreams or other people's way of life without us really knowing it. Like,
or expectations of us.
Absolutely.
What they see you as.
We want to impress our parents. We want to impress loved ones. We want to be the best version of ourselves.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, we don't even know who we are yet until it really clicks. It really, understand that. And it can click when you're 10. It can click when you're 20. It can click when you're 50. I mean, we hope it clicks earlier than that, right?
Yeah.
But, when it does, then you can be your authentic self.
Yep.
But until then, like, you're always in, that panic mode or whatever. And you just got to use that to just like keep on going. It's like, it's weird because I was watching a Soulja Boy, as crazy as Soulja Boy is.
I was like, did he just say Soulja Boy?
Check it. You're gonna feel me on this. Check me on this. Like, right. Shout out Soulja, right? Soulja. He was in an interview, and I forget the interview, and they were like doubting him. And the one question that came up was like, why do you have so many businesses? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his response was why the fuck wouldn't I have so many businesses? Why wouldn't I want to try?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so as crazy as we see, like, whatever, like, that's real.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I try? Like,
Exactly.
why wouldn't I come out with a video game or rock this Gucci headband that everybody's talking about or do this, whatever. So it's not like, we're not following like, the Soulja Boy, verse Soulja Boy Bible,
Right.
But that when he said that, like, I was like, yo, that's real.
Right.
Like, he felt that,
Facts. And that's a great metaphor because, like, even if you have 100 businesses or 100 ideas, like, if you keep putting them aside, how will you ever know if it was supposed to be or not?
Yeah, like, you
can't
gotta
know
put your
if it
foot
worked.
out there. You gotta try. You gotta try.
Like, imagine if you just didn't go to that fucking interview that day for Masterchef just because you didn't have a degree or because you didn't feel good enough.
And I wasn't gonna go. Like, I wasn't gonna go. Like, it was early in the morning. I hate mornings. Everybody knows me in the morning. Don't talk to me until like 11:30. I hate mornings.
Y'all heard, don't hit Malcolm up in the morning. Leave him alone. Let him sleep till 12.
Oh my God, I love the snore. So like, I wasn't gonna go. It was like, they started at 9, so I knew I had to be there at like 7.
Damn, they testing you.
Yeah, like,
it's like, how much do you want this, Malcolm?
I gotta be there at 6. Then we get a little shower power, whatever,
right.
And then we get out there. But like, I wasn't gonna go. Like, but in my head, I'm like, yo, if you don't go, if you don't try, like, you'll kill you'll be killing yourself.
You'll just think about over and over, like, why didn't I go?
Why
you know what I'm saying?
Why didn't I try? Like,
and that could have changed your whole course.
Absolutely.
It would have changed your whole course.
Yeah, it could have. Like, I think I could have been in the same realm I am now, because as you can see, I'm not a famous guy.
No, you're motivated, though.
I'm still like the normal mouse that you catch. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I'm mouse. So, but at the same time, like, it's definitely drove like to get the fire lit, and the fire stayed on after that moment. Because I'm like, if I can impress these chefs that I've looked up to, and they said I was good enough to be on this national television show and beat out thousands and thousands and thousands of people that tried out for this show and all this other stuff, I'm at least in the right direction.
Facts. And you got to the top 20, am I correct?
Yeah, top 20.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I was on for a few episodes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was definitely on for a few episodes, so it's not like, you know, I was a passenger in the wind. Like I was on there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm proud. If no one else is proud of me, but I know there's plenty of people out there proud of me. But if no one else is proud of me, like it took me probably until last year to be proud of myself for that moment.
Yo, see, and even you like admitting that, it's like people listening in who are trying to start businesses or are entrepreneurs, like this is not an overnight thing. This isn't a year thing. This isn't a 2-year thing. This is a legit, like never stopping, consistent. Like we talk about it. I talk about my producer Slam. Like if you want to put like your time, effort, and energy into something to actually make a business, you have to take the ups, the downs, the turns. You know what I'm saying? Like
Slam been doing the
please shout him out.
Like shout out, you know what I'm saying? He's been doing like some sort of production since we was in high school. Yeah. Since we was in kids. He was always around it.
Facts.
So I graduated high school. He's a grade ahead of me, maybe 2 grades ahead of me. I graduated in 2003. Mm-hmm. So think of it's 2022.
That's amazing. See that is consistency. You know what I'm saying? To get to today, here and now, where we're producing, you know, a live talk show and him having his shit on Roku. I just need a shout out Straight Vision TV, shout out Slam, shout out Shavash. You are amazing. We couldn't do without you. I know he's smiling in the other room right now.
right. Absolutely.
We throwing everyone out today. But yeah, and I just want to like, from the bottom of my heart, like huge claps to you for even having like that ability to believe in yourself enough, because there's so many people with like social media technology. Like we said, that wasn't there now, like back then when you were going through this. Right. For just bringing that confidence out of yourself and knowing like you're good enough. Even if you didn't know you were good enough, something within you, your purpose said you were. And you know, I've heard it said that we live 2 lives. Mm-hmm. We're born once and then we're reborn when we find our purpose.
Oh, that's
you know
dope.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like at 9 years old, even though you didn't know, you were reborn again. And you continued on that path without letting it kill that passion in you.
That's fire. Like I gotta keep that. Like, you gotta give yourself.
Make sure you quote me on that shit.
I definitely gotta quote you in the book because that's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a microwavable world, right? Yes. Someone does something for clout on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, they blow up, they're making millions of dollars, and now they're famous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it could be for all the wrong reasons too. Facts. They could be doing something disgusting or the stupidest reason, or
you know what
whatever.
Saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Like you heard that girl who like glued her wig onto her head and then like Gorilla Glue
she got a whole
paid for her surgery, and then this other girl went and put Gorilla Glue in her head so she could get famous.
So she could
You know what I'm saying? Exactly what you're saying.
You catch someone that authentically made a mistake but capitalized on it now and is doing fantastic and good. And shout out to Gorilla Girl, the original one, right? Not the dummy that was like, oh, let me try to capitalize on some dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you gotta really understand like people, like we live in a microwavable world. Like they want the instant success. They don't see the grind, and they don't want the grind either. Right. So that's why you'll have a lot of one-hit wonders. You'll have a lot of what happened to our own boy that was doing this, or what happened to this, or what happened to that. You know what I'm saying? And it's no knock on anybody in their direction. Yeah. But the most success and the most successful people are always going to be the people that put in the most work.
100%.
It's going to be that way. It's like whether they have the most fame, that's not what it is. Yeah. They're going to be long-term successes, like the people behind the scenes, the people that are grinding. When you're sleeping, they're still editing, they're doing this, they're doing that, or whatever, and they're really giving that authenticity to their craft and what they're doing. Those are the people with long-term success.
100%. I believe in like manifestation and karma too. Like what you're putting in the universe, I do believe comes back to you. Whether you can't expect, if you do something at night, tomorrow morning, boom, you're going to get $1 million or something like that. Absolutely. But if you believe in the constant notion that all the time what you're putting out is eventually coming back to you, that's part of the journey. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I believe I'm definitely a firm believer of good karma and good energy, because when it comes down to it, like, if I know for a fact, if I let someone go on traffic, they might let someone go on traffic later on. Right. Or if I pay someone's coffee behind me, right? Or if, someone's struggling, like, they don't have enough. I comp free stuff. Yeah, it's a free shake.
Facts.
It's your birthday. It's free today.
Yeah.
For real? Yeah, it's free. Oh, okay. Just tell someone about me.
Right.
And they'll literally be on the phone, call 8, 9 of their friends to come into the shop, and now I have 9 new customers.
Because that could mean the most, like the littlest things you do for someone. And like speaking of that, like incorporate into your businesses and your cooking, the nutrition companies you have. From what we've kind of talked about and what I've read about you, it seems like you guys also give back, which to me is huge. Like whether you're a celebrity or you're nobody, whatever you have, whatever resources you can put back into your community to give back or do community outreach, I think you should do that.
I don't see no other way.
Yeah, like whether I said, you're Rihanna or you, like
yeah, like now guarantee if I had millions and millions of dollars, I would have the capital to do more, because it does take money to flow.
Yeah.
But as long as I have, my spaces and I have a passion and I can do it, I'm going to always do it. Like
in
I'm
a platform, that's huge.
The brick and mortars that I have really helped me do more because now I have a space to do more.
Right.
Doing the book drive and the free book drive for kids. Right. How many times have you been at, Scholastic pull up to the school and you got to act like you don't care because your mom couldn't give you no money.
Yeah, like I don't want a book, yo. Like that's stupid. Cool. That's stupid.
Right. Right. So now, now it's free. Come through.
Amazing.
Get a comic book. Get a bike. Shout out to I gotta give a quick shout out. Shout out to Cambridge bike give back.
Yeah,
because they was able to donate bikes for me.
Wow.
So now the kids was able to buy bikes. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. What company is this through? I'm sorry.
This is Cambridge Bike Give Back.
And this is through which company of yours? Through the nutrition?
No, this is his.
Or just
this is his thing.
Got you.
I hate to say it, Lonnell Wells, right? He started this really thing. He would take the bikes that people didn't want, he would tune them up, make sure they're working, and give them away to anybody that needed the bikes.
See, that's amazing.
So, and he's been doing it for years now. So when I reached out to him and said, hey, I would love some bikes for this the book drive that I'm going to do at MnM Nutrition.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, my inventory is your inventory. And this is someone I grew up with since I was a kid. So like, he was like, my inventory is inventory. What you need? I was like, I'll take like 10 bikes. He was like, don't be shy. You need more? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I love because I know like that came from his heart and he's already doing that.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, well, let me help my brother here. And then and we'll just give him back. Like whether I got to pull out the money out of my pocket to buy stuffed animals and stuff like that just to give away. I used to always, it's super weird, right? But the day after Valentine's Day, all the Valentine's Day stuffed animals go on sale, right?
Yeah, of course.
So like you could catch them for like $1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're being cheap. Nah, I don't got it like that.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would buy a bunch of them and on my day, like when I'm working and like moving and grooving, and I see, here you go.
Aww,
to the kids and stuff,
Yeah.
And they're like, sometimes the parents look at you like you're crazy. Like, why is this big old man giving stuff? But then it's like, oh wow, that was dope.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And if they got multiple kids, I got multiple stuff in. I used to do that all the time. So like, and I do that to set more positivity into the world because that mother that seen that random stranger just give away those nice stuffed animals to make their kid's day.
Yeah.
May be passing forward their positivity in the other way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's a super ripple. And I solely believe on it. I know sometimes it sounds like bullshit, but I really do. Like, I really believe in trying to just put that positivity in the air.
Facts. But that's why you have like tenfold it coming back to you, like you getting your businesses, you being able to get that opportunity when maybe you felt like there was people who could have got over you. You recently, shout out you, I think you said you signed on a house recently, your first house.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of shit
there's a lot of stuff that's going, there's a lot of stuff that's going down that I'm always going to put into perspective and really try to do as long as I have the platforms and the space to do so.
Yes.
And even when I didn't have those platforms and space to do so, I got an extra $1 in my pocket. I'm going to give it away to someone.
Right. You can always do something even if you don't have the resources. It's not about the money. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not, it can be you saying, asking someone, how do you feel today? You know what I'm saying? How are you today? Are you okay? Do you want to talk about something? People who won't just initially come out and open up. Like you can do it in so many different ways. Community outreach is is not just money or physical or whatever.
What you could do for someone else.
But who you are. Yeah, like what you can put out. And but like physically, I know you are doing a book drive.
Yes.
And what could you tell us a little bit about that?
So the book drive is going to be dope. So like I said, we already touched on it. Like you might have been one of those kids growing up, right? I know I was for sure.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're taking report cards. We're taking tests that you might have aced. I know there's some people that are on the spectrum where they don't have like report cards and stuff like that. Still come, bring the kids. We love them. And then we're going to pass out like fake money. Like not prop money because people are trying to like put money in pocket. But maybe get some Monopoly money and so on and so forth. And they can shop and buy inside the MnM Nutrition where I'm going to be hosting it at. There's going to be books, stuffed animals, pencils, pens, games, bikes, crayons, markers, I got movies.
Yo, it's so fire.
I don't even know if anybody watches DVDs anymore, but I'm a DVD avid collector, right?
Yeah.
So DVDs, and that's from, the little ones all the way up to the kids in high school. Yeah. And I always say, hey, if there's any adults looking for a good read too, come on through, right?
Exactly.
You may not have like you may not have like the grades and stuff like that, but you're more than welcome to purchase anything that we have or whatever,
right?
Because that's only going to help me do my next thing too as well. So, I want to make this as big as possible. So that location is super slow right now, unfortunately. But I don't want that to reflect on the amount of people that I really want to bring into that space and have fun.
Right.
It's going to be a 3-day event during the week of February vacation.
Awesome. Is this the first?
This is going to be my first one. And I'm hoping to make it an annual.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say that.
I definitely want to do an annual thing. So this is going to be my first one. It's going to be the 21st, the 22nd, and the 23rd.
Okay.
So just in case you can't get there, you might have stuff planned with the kids.
Yeah.
Catch us on another day. We'll still have some stuff. Now, you might miss out on all the cool items if you don't come to the first day, but we'll still have plenty of things. And everything that my shop sells and provides is good for people of all ages, kids, nursing mothers, everything like that. So if you want something to drink or eat, you can get that as well.
Yeah. And that's just amazing. In general, like I just want to thank you for the people who maybe aren't able to say it or haven't said it, but for what you're doing for Boston, the communities around here, Stoughton, Cambridge, like this is stuff that we need to build a community together so that we can start supporting each other.
Absolutely.
People who have small businesses, entrepreneurs, it is what the city is built off of. Do you know what I mean? But if we don't come together, then we can't grow it. We can't cultivate it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that owns a Kmart. I don't know anybody that owns a Walmart.
Facts.
But I do know a young man that owns like Cambridge Give Back, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I do know someone that owns, an Optimal Nutrition. I do know someone that owns Twins Nutrition. Nutrition, shout out Twins Nutrition.
Hey.
I do know all those, and these are small companies, these are small businesses and things like that. So, of course, why wouldn't I try to do business with them and try to do that? Yeah, we need a little bit of Walmart every now and then, but you could really get the same value, same products, same help, same everything from these small businesses that are popping up.
Exactly.
And you should want to do that anyway.
Exactly. And, I do have a question for you before we, end out the show.
Okay.
It's something that I usually ask to all my guests who come on.
Okay.
So however you take this, if you want to answer, if you don't want to answer, it's up to you. By how we've been talking, you seem like you have something within you that motivates you to keep going, to have a purpose, to keep going forward and make your businesses or your passion become more. What do you feel like it means to be an old soul in a young world, whether you're an old soul or you're not? Just kind of what do you take that concept as in today's day and age?
So that's a wonderful question. And thank you for asking that, because I always said I was born in 86. My birth certificate says I'm born in 86, but I feel like I was born in 68. Because I love, even anybody that knows me, I love old music. I like old fashion. I'm an old fashioned guy. There's a lot of things that I love about how things used to be, and how they can translate that. They're timeless, right?
Yeah.
You see those you could still play like a song, and the song was so good because it's timeless. It's everything. So, it's one of the reasons why this is like my first show, podcast, every streaming thing that I've ever done. Now, I've got offered to do others, and I declined. This is the first one because I really felt Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, I felt the vibe. I really felt the vibe.
That hypes me up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I felt what you guys were doing.
Thank you.
And that old soul, young world thing, like, is what we need, because I feel as though, like, back in the day too, like, we had a little bit more respect. There's a little things were more refined.
Yes.
And I'm not saying we can't move, in the young space,
Facts.
It has to be a good mixture, though. It has to be a good mixture. There has to be, more respect, like, when it comes down to communicating with people.
Yep.
It's okay as a man, as myself, as a black man, to express how he feels physically and mentally.
Exactly.
That's one of the things that needs to be put on the okay too, and that's something from the young world part, because old school, I'm a man, I just gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, whatever. So now, you know what I'm saying? So now there's a great mixture when it comes to that.
Facts.
My soul, my motivation is definitely my namesake, as far as like my business is named after my daughter, Malia's Catering.
Hey.
When I pop up to places, it's Malia's, asking for Malia's Kitchen.
Yep.
She's 12 years old. She's my everything. She's my world. She keeps me going. I'll never forget the first phone call that I made when I lost on the show and I was coming back. She told me, she says, "Daddy, did you do your best?" And I was like, I was on the phone like tearing up because I lost, and it meant a lot to me. And I was like, I did my best. She was like, then that's all that matters. And she's 4 years old.
Yo.
So
she's an old soul. Are you kidding me? Like, asking that at 4 years old?
Her favorite shows check this out. Her favorite shows are Martin right now.
I literally was thinking Martin is so weird you said
Jamie
that.
Foxx.
That's wild,
she loves old school music.
Yeah.
Her favorite artists are some of the new artists, like she loves Lil TJ and things like that. Mm-hmm. But she also has the same love for like Michael Jackson, Luther Vandross, like stuff like that. So like she's like an old soul too. So like but she's actually teaching me in her world. Like she's teaching me, we'll be in the grocery store. She'd be doing dances, TikTok dances and stuff like that. I'm like, what is that?
It's a
What's
different
going on,
culture now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's nothing that like we have to, us as older people too, like me as an older person, I have to embrace that younger culture too and kind of mix those two.
Amen.
Because you have to be able to do that. Like if you're not evolving with the times, like you will be ran over. Like,
yes.
It is what it is. Like
yes.
I wish we had like TikTok and what's the other one? Instagram and Snapchat and stuff like that when I did my series.
Right.
When I was on MasterChef, because it would have even catapulted me. It would have helped me,
Exactly.
So why would I deny that where we're going with the tech, with the stream, with the everything, that's what you need,
Right.
Even with the music, like I'm a lyricist guy, so I need the lyrics, when it comes down to the music, but even with the music, like you hear something, you just be bopping and you don't know what they're saying, you don't even care. You just, that's what's up.
It's just the vibe.
But even they love it because they're taking an older beat, switching it up and turning it in, you know what I'm saying? They should be on the show right now too, promoting that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I really appreciate what you're doing on your platform as far as that goes. I'd like to give you your flowers.
Hey.
I'd like to give, Shravash his flowers, what I'm saying, what he's doing with that. Because it's something that's authentically growing. It's not forced. No one's making you do it,
Right.
and that's gonna lead to longevity.
Hey,
that's fun.
That's so fire, and we appreciate you so much for even being willing to do your first interview, first podcast, first whatever on Also Young World. And your vibes were exactly what I'm looking for. Somebody who is motivating within themselves. Like you're genuine, you're authentic. You don't have to go being someone else just to act like you're better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You are who you are. In
my skin.
In your skin, in your own skin. And that's the beautiful thing. People listening in, young men, young women, people who are entrepreneurs starting their own businesses, trying to do something, like Malcolm's doing. It takes dedication. It takes time. It takes patience. And I think the biggest thing I took out of what you just said is it takes to be like a mentor, I guess is the word I'm looking for. How do we carry on this timelessness, the stuff that we can't explain to younger generations? We can only show it. You can only be that person.
You gotta learn.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta learn to adapt. You have to learn to adapt. Not everything is gonna be for you, but if you do not learn how to adapt to that younger world with bringing in your old flavor, it's never gonna work. And you have to work hard. Like as much as it, we've heard it forever, right?
Yeah.
You've heard it in school. You've heard it everywhere. You have to work hard, and you would hope that you didn't have to work as hard, because some days get a little bit stressful.
Yeah.
You're working 7 days a week. You don't know, your ass from your elbows, this and the third. You're putting on one sock and mismatch. I mean, there's been plenty of times I've walked out the house with mismatched socks, my shirt, backwards and all this other stuff. But you gotta get to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there's no shame in that.
Right.
Like, there's no shame in your game. Like, you just gotta put in the work.
It's not how you get there. It's just about getting there.
Get there.
Just get there. However you can get there.
Right.
Fly, drive, swim, crawl.
And get there being your best self too.
Yeah.
Understand that you gotta be your best self in those spaces. You gotta be you have to be mentally strong as well as physically strong, So if you're not feeling right in your mind and you think it's big and bad, that's men or female. Like, you think it's big and bad, or people are going to think you're crazy or whatever.
Right.
Please just sit down, even try something different, meditation, right? A lot of you guys work, you have the full-time jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
That covers also seeing like a psychiatrist, like that covers that, you know what I mean? And being, all that, having that mental stability to be your best self, you know what I mean? Like, you might be a struggling artist, you can't get by and you're trying to figure out why. Right. Talking to somebody might help,
it does.
But you never know if you don't try.
Exactly.
Just all that stuff. Like, you have to be mentally strong with whatever you do.
Right.
And if that means taking time just to kind of sit back for a second, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe having a glass of wine, sipping this glass of champagne, you know what I'm saying? Or having a glass of water.
Right.
And just kind of being in tune with yourself for a second, just to realign things. That's something that you need to do. You know what I mean? And as a man, like, I struggle with that. I struggled with it, Right. I'm working through it now. I'm taking time to cry a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, taking some time to myself.
Appreciate you saying that, yo. I be crying all the time.
And I'm still a thug, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted, you know what I mean? You
Thugs
see how
can
big
cry,
I am.
yo.
Thugs can cry too, Like, but even though every once in a while, take a hug from someone, open a door, put yourself in a positive space, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Line yourself back on that track, and then go hard, you know?
Exactly.
Like, but if you're teetering off that track and you're still trying to go hard, you'll eventually fall off anyway. So line yourself up, get right, and then go hard.
Facts. And, I just, thank you so much for saying that, because mental health on the show, since I started the show, that's the reason I started the show. I've always struggled with mental health and self, doubt and understanding, and just becoming who I am authentically without having to be influenced by people around me. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with the anxiety, the depression, not understanding how do I fit my pieces of my puzzle into this world to make my values align with what I want to do and get people interested in it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And get people involved in the movement, because what is mental health? It's actually a movement. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's something that when you come out and you talk about it, that's making a difference. When people hear you talking about it as a Black man who's done something and started your own businesses in Boston and continue to believe in yourself, that's making a ripple effect. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
As a young woman, other young women hearing it, that makes a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
So it's people like us who can be genuine examples and put ourselves on the table like, hey, it's okay to say you're not okay. It's okay to come on here and say mental health is important, and nutrition and mental health play into making yourself a good entrepreneur, making yourself a good communicator, finding your purpose. They all are interconnected.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's mad important that you even recognize that.
And it took a little while to recognize it.
Right.
But it's definitely one of those things that you have to recognize. And I wish I recognized earlier,
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen that space or seen how important it was earlier in whatever I was doing, my endeavors, whether it be playing ball or football or running track or, whatever I was into or whatever I wish I was that important and really understood how important it was.
Right. Exactly.
So for me, like, I grew up without no dad, like, so I didn't have, that someone saying like, yo, this is okay. Yeah. So I know I'm, I only have one child, but I know I'm like, not the young guys' fathers, but, working in the youth, the youth programs for so many years, those kids that are now young men, they still call me. Like, they still call me, yo, Mouse, what up? Blah, blah. Yeah. they pull up to my shops, they have fun, I give them hugs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Right.
Like things like that. Like if they start a clothing line, I'm buying.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like things like
Exactly.
that. So it's like, I always said to myself, like, yo, I'm not with that, but like if you could look at my story and I can help you, even if you out without knowing me, like that's what I did it for. You know, I may not, and reach out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know you, but I seen this, or hey, I wanted to come into the shop, or hey, what do you think, or what? Reach out. I'm always available. I'm always available for positivity.
Hey!
Negativity is, I'm never available for
love
negativity,
that.
but I'm always available for positivity. That's just the way I live it.
My phone is on. My door is open if it's positive.
Right.
And you know, if there is anybody out there who wants to reach out to you, who wants to talk to you, who wants to chop it up about maybe opening their own business or getting involved in your cooking classes, the nutrition, the book drive, anything that you got going on, where can they reach you? What's your plugs?
Okay, plugs. Let's see. Here we go.
He's like, we got 500. Which ones? All right.
What job do I want to? So my email is always available at maliascatering@gmail.com.
Cool.
And you can always ask any food questions there, whether it be about any of the classes that I teach or whatever. I can always get a link and direct you, because I always, like, since I do a lot of things, I don't always know, but I can always find an answer for you. So that's number one.
Perfect.
So, you know, email is simple. Everybody got that. Social media handles. I have Malia's Catering. I think it's _. I had to change it because someone took the name, whatever. Malia's Catering _. That's in there. And then I have Optimal Nutrition Stowe. That's the one there. And then I have the MnM Nutrition. Okay, those are all the Instagrams. Look those up. You'll see pictures. You'll know where you're in. You're
And
in
if
the right
they
place.
Google like the websites too.
Yeah. Optimal Nutrition, since it's been around for a while, that's way more Google worthy. You can find that. The MnM Nutrition, you're gonna have to put MnM Nutritional Club.
Okay.
To pop up, because then you're gonna get a whole bunch of links for M&Ms.
Of course. I assume so.
Yeah, you're gonna get a whole bunch of those. Megatron is here is usually how I navigate through my spaces. So that's like the Snapchat, that's the Instagram, that's the personal Instagram. And you know, slide in the DMs. Like I'm more than willing to help anybody and everybody, especially if they're looking for just simple advice that I can give you. You know, like I'm always gonna give you a raw, authentic answer, but there's never gonna be no hate behind it. Like you're like, hey, I want to do this, but you know, I got this. Okay, so you might need to do this first before you do this.
Right.
As far as the classes, like I said, if you want to find any of the classes, just email me. I can get to those classes. I do teach the classes on the Stoughton Recreational Center website. They go fast.
Yep.
Because it's only
So sign up now. Don't wait, guys.
So there's only 8 spots.
Yeah.
But the Zoom classes, I have another Zoom coming up in March. That's for Caribbean Heritage Month, which is in March. And that's going to be through the Cambridge Public Library.
Okay.
So that's awesome. So you'll find that.
Fire.
So anybody just can Google that or whatever. I have that come up. I do not know what I'm cooking yet.
Okay.
I still got to design
It'll be a
something for that.
surprise. It'll be a
definitely surprise. But I did one last year. It went really well. So I'm doing another one this year or whatever.
Word.
I think that's it.
He's like, but
I think
just
that's
email me because
Yeah.
I'll send you everything if you email him.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, you know, we'll tag some stuff, you know,
Word.
we'll be able to do that so people will be able to easy hit and link.
Yes, for sure.
I think that's it. Like, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Word.
I'm not always on my social media, but I definitely handle my social media as much as I possibly can.
Facts. It's good to take breaks every now and then. You know,
Yeah,
being
it
an
gets
entrepreneur, being an artist and a chef, like you gotta
gotta
take some time for yourself.
You know, post a picture of this, post a picture of that, post this, post that.
Yeah.
Talk about this, talk about
Yeah.
that, blah, blah, and then bang. You know
Yo,
what I mean?
anyone
So-
who knows me, they know that I go on Instagram, I post and I dip out. And I don't even be checking that shit for months. So if y'all left a comment, if y'all showed some love to Also Young World, thank you. I will see it. I promise you. I probably haven't answered. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I do love you.
Right. And then Facebook is the normal stuff. So
Yeah.
if you type in Malcolm Green on Facebook,
Dope.
you'll see like a funky picture of my Masterchef stuff in there. That was the fan page. So I do have control over my fan page as well. Malia's Catering is on Facebook too, and then Malcolm Green It's a picture of me and my daughter and everything. You'll see me. You know, I'm not
amazing.
I'm not some random guy in Ohio. You know what I mean? So you'll see me on it for sure.
You'll see him.
Yeah.
You know, Malcolm, I just want to thank you for coming on the show. Like I said, for taking the time, for shouting out your businesses, for, you know, putting people on in the city who might be trying to do similar things to you, or just inspiring people from young to old and anywhere in between, all the damn souls, to get involved in cooking, culture, looking without past themselves and getting involved in other things, you know, other than just the regular shit, the 9-to-5s, you know, step outside of your comfort zone. Absolutely. Try to be something different. That's all we're here doing.
Yeah, that's all. Listen, we got to cheers to that. I ran out of water, but we'll cheers to it. We'll cheers to it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I had fun. This was a blast. You know, I knew it was going to be like that anyway.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they'll see Also Young World Malcolm doing a cooking show one day. Who knows? Maybe I'll pop on, do some paella with you.
I am open for it, okay? I am open for it. We could kind of hook it up, you know what I'm saying? We could do some stuff. And I can invite you out to my platforms. We could do some fun stuff. That
would be dope.
I'm working on, like, I wanted to do like an online series anyways. But
yeah.
I know a lot of that takes the energy and effort and time, and that's why I haven't did it yet.
Yeah.
Because I want to give it 110% of everything that I have, and if I can't do that, then I don't want to do it yet.
Facts.
But like, listen, I'm more than willing to come. We could set up a little cooking station.
We're gonna have a little stove set up next time. Y'all gonna see. Don't worry.
It's lit.
It ain't over.
Thank you so much.
Of course. But again, thank you, Malcolm. Everybody who's tuned in, make sure you go check out all of his businesses. I can't even name them all, but we got the nutrition, we got the cakes, we got the cooking, the delivery, we got everything. Just go check it out. Malcolm Green everywhere. Google it. But, you know, shout out him for making a name in the city for himself and within the realm of community, cooking, all of that. We love it here. Wellness, mental health, it's all important. It's something that you guys need to recognize within yourselves so that you can move forward into your purposes. You know what I'm saying? So over the next couple of weeks, whenever you listen to this, just take time to reflect upon what it is that you can do to get to that next level. And as always, guys, make sure you tune in with me next week here on Also Young World with your host, Jessie Ellie.